Here with Nick Law, the North American Chief Creative Officer for RGA. Nick, you were the president of the interactive jury at the Clios. Tell me, what are you seeing this award season, and what might we expect later in the week for the Cyber Awards?
Well, I think I've seen a few things in particular there, but also, with the One Club Awards and ADC and so on. I've seen a few trends. I noticed, with our jury in particular, that there are 4 agencies that did a lot of really interesting work. What was interesting about those 4 agencies is that they sort of come from the problem from different origins. So, Goodby, Crispin, RGA, and AKQA won lots of awards at the Clios. And you've got Goodby and Crispin who come from a more traditional model, moving into interactive, and then you've got AKQA and RGA who are doing the opposite. And in some ways we're sort of meeting in the middle. In other ways we haven't quite met yet. I mean, for example, I can't remember us ever being in a pitch against Crispin, but we've shared talent, for example. They've hired from us, we've hired from them. So we're at this very interesting transitional period where we're doing lots of different sort of work, and also we're doing lots of the same sort of work. With that particular award show, I think it's true. A lot of the digital work that's been awarded so far is that you start to see a real interesting breadth of work. So you're seeing stuff which is like true marketing, very discreet. Perhaps it's more narrative, and then you're also seeing, these large sort of systematic platforms. Mm-hmm. AKQA did the Fiat work, which I think is a tremendous example of the platform work. Crispin did Whopper Sacrifice, which is a great example of a very discreet, truly digital, but sort of cultural moment. So you've got the nice breadth.
So we, in the last couple of weeks, we saw a couple of interesting moves. One, Crispin acquired a digital agency here in Europe, yeah. And the other, Sapient acquired a traditional agency in Nitro.
Right.
What do you see there with clues to how agencies are evolving?
I think it's interesting. I think that a lot of agencies will make missteps. In those particular cases, I think that, especially the Crispin example, I think is encouraging. What I've heard is that they have matching cultures, and that is the most important thing. Our particular model is more around organic growth, but if there is sort of a combining of 2 agencies, they have to have sort of complementary cultures and a respect between the 2 cultures. And so I think that it's probably a good move by Crispin. Daddy's a great agency. The Swedes are very sophisticated in the digital space. Mm-hmm. And so good luck to them. I hope they do well, because it's a very interesting move, I think.
Okay, so it's been 2 years since Nike Plus sort of was the talk of Cannes. How has the platform evolved, and what do you see, coming in the future for it?
Well, it's evolved because there's more people on it. I know there's an intention by Nike to make it more of an open platform, so that'll change it a lot. That'll sort of accelerate all the the third-party utilities, some of which already exist, but they'll accelerate that. The challenge will be to keep expanding the utility in a really useful way, but to keep it simple too. I think that the beauty of Plus is that it's a very easy application to use. The combining the data display bit with the social bit is really what makes it work. So as long as whatever is added to it going forward is all about motivation and community, then I think it's going to be, it'll be a success.
So how does RGA balance the sort of creative work that goes into building platforms versus one of your more recent efforts, which was the Dear Mr. President campaign? They seem like very different types of creativity.
Yeah, they're different. I mean, we believe that when you build a platform, the big intention is to try to fit into people's lives. So the traditional model is breaking through, grabbing someone's attention, ambushing them, and getting a message out there. So we still believe that there's a place for that, and I think that Dear Mr. President is more of a sort of breakthrough idea. But the platform idea, like Plus, is about fitting in, and it's exactly the opposite. So rather than ambushing someone, you're becoming a part of the daily habit. performance. So it's the other side of the coin. When they work together, those things is I think when a platform grows the most and when the discrete messaging means the most. So getting those two worlds working together, I think is a sort of challenge for our industry. The thing that Dear Mr. President and Nike Plus share though is that they recognize a sort of pent-up behavior. In the case of Nike Plus, people were running with music, and so Nike just added the sensor so you could upload the data. So their behavior already existed, they just enhanced it. And in the case of the inauguration and Dear Mr. President, people wanted to talk about it. It was historic. So we just sort of enabled that sort of conversation.